Good afternoon, folks. Welcome back. This is John Pettipas. It's now 20 minutes before 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, which is the 13th day of March. And I've been gathering notes. You are not forgotten. Nova Scotia, all the blessed, beloved forestry workers and fellas hauled to pulp the roadside and skidders and truck it and build the roads. I made this note a while back. Nova Scotia needs forestry now more than ever. And I had my video on Teresa McClellan, Meghan Markle rig, and then one wonderful saintly lady, Teresa McClellan, who would have been 94 on Thursday, and she lived about another 5.5 months, Thursday 11th. And the McClellan trio, she'd been the last surviving member of the McClellan trio. I have another video coming up on something, which I always keep my schedule a little bit private till it comes up to surprise you, and something else. But I just come over from the office reading the paper. See here? This is from today's Halifax Herald, and it's page A12, section A, page 12, calling all private landowners. New legislation will give the government of Nova Scotia broad and unprecedented authority over your private land. And it's your private land, not their private land, not these cocky little bastards in universities that don't know if they're hold puncher board. It's your private land. You've worked hard for it. You own it. It's your private land. New legislation, again, will give the government of Nova Scotia broad and unprecedented authority over your private land. If passed, the new act will restrict you and what you can do with fines of up to $1 million. Agriculture, Christmas tree growing, housing and road construction, forest management, farming, livestock, and development are all activities that will be impacted. A better balance is needed. All stakeholders must be consulted. Learn more about what's planned for your land. It's your land, not their land. It's your land. Learn more, again, about what's planned for your land. Visit nslegislature.ca to read Bill 4, which was introduced on March 11th, which would have been Thursday, the 21st. Again, visit Nova Scotia legislature.ca to read Bill 4, introduced on March 11, 2021. Act now before it's too late. Act now before it's too late. Ask your MLA to voice your concerns on this new legislation. Private Woodlot Owners Coalition. Now, this just pissed this. Back in 1983, I made a presentation to Royal Commission on Forestry at the former Heather Motel on 4th Street in Stellarton. Heather Motel. And I did it in Stellarton. I wasn't doing it for publicity. And when I wasn't the least bit nervous. I got up there before Judge Lou Matheson and the professor and president of the University of Nanakinish time, Greg McKinnon. And I did a lot of work in preparing my presentation. Had to have a copy of all of them, one for the records and so on, and had a couple extra ones myself. And when I finished, I turned around, both sides of the room all applauded. And I was quite surprised. Anyway, late saintly Hollis Rutledge, she used to be deputy woodlands manager at Stora, Nova Scotia Forest Industries back down in Hawkesbury, Port Hawkesbury. And lady come in the store that summer of 1983 and said, John, friend of mine said, you made a presentation to the commission first. I said, yes, I did. How do you know? But a friend of mine had attended all the sessions. There was one in Bridgewater, one in Stellarton, and one in Hawkesbury, one in Sydney, and I think there might have been one some Kentville or somewhere. So they did 5 to commission before they put the report together. Said, yours was the best presentation. I'm not saying that to flatter me, but the point was, what did I say that people applauded to? That's the only reason I mentioned me in the story. Why did they applaud? Why did the men and the women applaud? When I turned around and finished my presentation, why did he say the presentation was later repeated back to me? It was Hollis Rutledge's friend of hers, the former great gentleman, former deputy woodlands manager again of Port. It was that time it was NSFI, Nova Scotia Forest Industries. It's because I said you're not getting enough presentations from people that are out in the woods. You're tree herding them on. You're out there getting your truck, diesel trucks and equipment going. You're out in the woods in all kinds of weather. Mosquitoes, flies, cold days, hot days, buggy days, woods, roads closed time. And I said, you're getting too much presentations from people about fishing. Now, first, that would have been January of 1983. So here we are in March of 2021. 38 years in 2 months has passed. Right now, we're 22 months shy of the 40th anniversary of that presentation, that commission. And that afternoon in January of 1983. And now they stall and delay and stop gold mines because of a few fish in the river. The gold mine is not going to hurt the fish in the river when it's done with the modern mining methods. And you got these experts that don't know if the hole is punch or board. Up in these godforsaken universities get $600 million a year given to them, and they do what they fucking well want with it. Pardon my expression. They do what they effing well want with the money. There's no control over the universities, we're the higher education. And they give it them. You get all these bastards coming to rip reports. I have never seen a business in my life like forestry. Everybody's an expert. Everybody's an expert. No, they take this. This is just wrong. So let me sit down here for a minute before I go on too much. They say, certain reporter told me one time there's a certain politician you didn't want to phone him before he ate his supper, and I didn't eat supper yet, so I get a little bit dirty when I don't eat. Now, look at some of the stuff here. Constant forest industry bashing betrays urban bias. This was a gentleman from Central Onslow that wrote a piece in the Halifax Herald on Thursday, January 28. Constant forest industry bias betrays urban, their bias to the urban people. Now, this here's a wonderful gentleman, prince of a gentleman, Robin Wilbur. He's the owner of Elmsdale Lumber. That's a good-sized company up in Elmsdale, nice sawmill, Elmsdale Lumber. Okay, Robin Wilbur. Now, this here is from, I've been putting these stuff together for a while. This is from Tuesday, January 26th. January 26th, 2 days prior to that. Okay, Robin Wilbur, owner of Elmsdale Lumber, does an interview in his office next to a bag of biochar produced by a Polish firm on Thursday. He proposes to build on the site of his lumber business a biochar plant, I think it's something like charcoal, that will cook softwood lumber chips to make a black-gray, powdery, carbon-soaking, spongy biomass that can be used as agricultural amenity. Okay, it's not a charcoal. It's used to suck up the carbon. So anyway, this is a very enterprising guy. This is a partial industry. People's talking about carbon and carbon. This is a partial solution to carbon in the atmosphere. Now, here's a piece from back in February 27th. James Lewis is the writer, a great guy. Anti-forestry buzz off base. Shouldn't we as a province be happy that we still have portions of our economy roaring with activity like the forest industry? Asked James Lewis. Shouldn't we as a province be happy that there are still portions of the economy roaring with activity? And he has a wonderful article here. This is again from, well, it'd be 2 weeks ago today, the 27th day of second last day of February. And I have a note here from back, I made this note on the 5th of March, which is a little over a week ago. God bless the men that cut the wood. The truck drivers. Those in the sawmills and paper mills. Don't think because if the day comes it gets too costly to produce fiber, you have a job at our one remaining paper mill we have. Actually, I'm going to just bear with me a second, folks. very kind gentleman. Him and his wife gave me a lovely chicken dinner. God, it was good. I had a great meal out of it. I made soup with it. Ate the soup for 4 days. After that, beautiful. He gave me a bag to put the chicken in eggs. I got both the chicken and eggs. Didn't have to pick it. And a lovely bottle of pickles. His wonderful wife says, he doesn't give his pickles to many people. I was flattered. Okay, so great guy, this Master Rocky. I've known him since the time he was a kid. Great guy. And a wonderful family, lovely wife, and great people. Okay, this bag is made in China. This bag is made in China. Now you can see that. This is a shopping valise bag, and it's made in China. My aunt used to give them about the alligators $5. My aunt loved those because she put all her knitting wool and yarn and products in it. So the bag, this is why we got to be cost competitive. If they put in such stupid rules, and there's enough stupid rules out there already, but even more stupid rules, the cost of fiber goes too high, gets too high to produce the logs and the pulpwood and chips. We won't have any I know there's greeny tree huggers. That'd be the holy grail. These are my gloves. They're well-used work gloves, but it's nothing compared to what you fellas do. Well-worn work boots you folks all have. Well-worn work boots and gloves that's well-worn. You take your fantastic folks. Now, anyway, I'm going on too long. I'm almost 11.5-minute mark, and I got to shorten my videos. So to take in, again, this is a cause for alarm. These people, obviously, for this legislation to come forward, somebody is a tree hugger, and they got the ear of the bureaucrats. And you're out there working hard every day from 3:30, 4 a.m., out to get the diesel going in your tractors and skidders and tree farmers and everything, trucks, tractor trailers, trucks, and they're putting together this legislation that can take and you can face fines up to $1 million. And it's wrong. It's friggin' wrong. So get in the horn, phone your MLAs, and tell them what you think. Give them a piece of your mind. Be generous. Give them a piece of your mind. This is John Pettipas. We need forestry, and we don't need bullshit pieces of legislation like this here with the professors and tree huggers and bureaucrats that probably never walked in the woods, let alone cut some wood or stacked it or wouldn't have a clue how to turn a machine on. So with that, please, it's a very important topic. Please share this video. Nova Scotia needs forestry now more than ever. This is John Pettipas. I better get this wrapped up because it takes a while to upload and get up in the system. It's about 6.5 minutes before 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the afternoon of Saturday, the 13th day of March, 2021. The forestry, the men of the forest, and some women work in the forest. They run these stuff, and the folks that work in the forestry, a lot of women, a lot of students and university students and what have you, hardworking women plant trees. That's a big one, planting trees in the spring, the seedlings, the reforest. So if you're in Cape Breton Island, mainland Nova Scotia, or wherever, and this is what President Trump, the whole thing of the Trump revolution, I'm going to bring President Trump in this. The liberal media call it the flyover territory. It's Indiana, bunch of manufacturing. Iowa, a bunch of people raising corn and hogs. Ohio, they're making steel or using coal to whatever. Well, you are making autos, whatever. You need the automobiles, you need the steel. They darn well need the steel beams and stuff in the buildings they're working in. So just like President Trump didn't forget the men and women and their families that are buckling the Bible about the great state of Ohio, the great state of Iowa, or the Indiana, okay? Nova Scotia needs you people. We need you, okay? And you pound on I got to pound in the wall, because if I pound my table, too much stuff will fall off. I'll pound in the wall. Get in the horn and give them your piece of your mind and tell them you don't want this bullshit passed that's going to affect, and it's not just forestry, by the way. I'm going to repeat this. It's agriculture, Christmas tree growing, housing, road construction, forest management, farming, livestock, and development. All activities will be impacted. Okay? It's wrong. You men and women that are out there generating a GDP that the other people, the lefties, want to redistribute. I'm going to repeat for a second time, we don't need bullshit like this. It's not good. Spread this video far and wide and phone up your MLA and tell them what you think. I got to go. Thank you very much. And all the best. God bless to all you. And God bless the men and women that work in our forest industry. There's not one of you that in my heart is not valued and appreciated. And let the politicians and bureaucrats in Halifax know what's involved. We don't need this bullshit. Thank you very much. All the best now. Thank you. Bye for now.